Hello. Oh, I didn't know. So is that one good? I mean, I'm good too. All right. I just wanted to make sure I'm being heard today because I got a lot to say. I got a lot to say. Where shall we start? I'm gonna let you start. I'm gonna introduce myself though. Hi, I'm Crystal, aka Chrissy, aka Miss Christy Baby. What else do I go by?
That's all I know. I mean,
Old lady in the shoe.
why are you in the shoe?
I had so many kids I didn't know what to do. You never heard that nursery?
I
rhyme?
heard that nurse rhyme. I just want you to
Okay,
do it. I just
well,
want you to do it.
yeah, that's why. Okay, what else do I go by? That's it. That's
Just
it.
jump it up.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? This is another edition of Where I Come From, where the only requirement for this podcast is to be where I come from. It is I, Mr. Tone Deaf. I'm back in the building. And you can see here I'm actually joined by this beautiful young lady who is the founder of the Chrissy Chronicles podcast. If you have not checked her out yet, make sure you check her out. She goes live every other Sunday at noon. And she's also part of the TDR family, of course. Not of course, but definitely. And one of my oldest, not one of my oldest friends, one of my newest yet oldest friend.
We've been jamming for a minute.
We've been cool for a minute.
Yeah, for sure.
We became friends under unique circumstances.
It was so unique too. It was just like randomness, but I guess it was meant to be, right?
You were brought in there. You were brought in to be a part of something.
Yeah.
You had to leave that.
Yep.
Then you joined us for a game day on air, which was funny as hell.
Yeah.
That was a funny way to play a game. And then we just been cool ever since.
The vibe was just there.
It was there.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Sometimes you can't tweak it.
I don't know.
It's called upgrades. Called upgrades.
WD-40. Everybody needs some.
Let's talk about life needing WD-40.
Let's just start. You start. Let me. You bring the. I mean, come on. I got
okay. So
today.
first of all, if you don't notice, for those of you who are watching the video, this is a very beautiful, lovely, melanated lady right here. We were having a conversation before we came on air about how she feels that she is still too toxic right now for a relationship.
Absolutely.
And why do you feel that way?
First, I want to start with this. I think people in general, men, women,
okay,
we need to take more accountability for self.
Okay.
So I think I'm in the season right now of accountability of self.
Okay.
I know my toxic traits.
What's your toxic trait?
Man, if you piss me off, I'm super toxic. If we have an argument and it don't go my way, I'm super toxic.
Even if it's your fault?
Even if it's my fault. Because in my mind, I feel like I'm never wrong.
But if we arguing, I must feel like you're wrong.
True. But I feel like if I bring an argument to you, I got a valid point for arguing. I'm not, let me go back. I'm not a confrontational person.
You're not. I think that's one of the things how we vibe, because we just chill. Say what we say and then that's it.
Yeah, we chill. And I feel like too, by me being that person that, look, if I feel a way, I'm gonna tell you. I'm not gonna come off confrontational, because I've learned in life, if you let shit sit, that's when you
that's
spaz,
when right.
I've been trying not to spaz, right?
Okay.
So I'm in the season of just telling you how I feel.
That's that 40.
It's 40.
Yeah.
And I was just telling somebody, like, look, I know somebody, if they come up to and talk to me in the conversation, we in 2 minutes in it, I'm gonna be like, nah, me and you, I can't see us vibing. I'm at that stage.
Right.
You feel me? So I'm just like, I need to take a moment out and deal with my own toxicity. I need to take, because I know that I'm the problem too.
Okay.
The season in my life is called accountability.
Okay.
I was married. If y'all don't know my story, I was married for a really long time.
Yeah.
And even though he was the cause of the divorce initially, I did some shit.
You
too.
sat back and realized.
Not cheated, but I was toxic. I could see why he was probably fucking with other women. because I could have drove him that way,
Okay.
being a bitch at times.
Other than being a bitch, what other things that you noticed that you were doing in the marriage that made it toxic?
You know, I'm not a nagger. I will say that. But at that point in my life, I wasn't speaking my mind about certain things. So at times when I would get bored in a relationship, I would find things to do to piss him off so he would leave the house.
Why would you?
It's a part of being toxic, baby.
So him leaving the house, what did that do for you other than the fact that you knew you just pissed him off?
Right. I needed a break.
So you couldn't just tell him I need a break?
Separate. No, because no. And remind you, this was when I was younger.
Okay.
So I wasn't.
First of all, how long were you married?
I was married for almost 20 years.
Okay. So
almost 20. Well, let's see. I got married at 19.
Right. Well, you had to have gotten married. So basically, he was damn near your only relationship in so many words.
Yeah. My only serious relationship.
So you didn't have an opportunity to figure out what you did
what
and didn't like.
What I didn't like. And I think a part of that too was, you know, as we were married, we were still growing up as adults.
Right. So a lot of mistakes.
Sometimes you grow apart. You like different things. There were things I did that I'm sure he didn't like, and vice versa.
Right.
And I just felt like, you know, the infidelity was his way of getting out of it.
Or he checked out a long time ago, and
facts. I checked out too.
The cheaper the keeper rule usually be the case. So
absolutely, you know, we have a lot of children together.
You do. You know? I don't know why y'all still kept having.
You know, it's all good because I mean I feel like people don't get married thinking they're gonna be divorced. You're not supposed.
You know what? Our generation, yes. This generation,
no. They don't even think about marriage.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you think about, okay, so we're in our 40s.
Yeah.
I'm mid 40s. You're early 40s. I think you just turned the corner, right?
No, I'll be 39 and.
So you're not there yet.
10,
okay.
What's today? I'll be 39 May 19th.
Okay, so
Taurus season, baby.
3 weeks. Shout out to that.
Yeah.
Good. You just missed the cut.
I don't like that. I don't mess with them.
But
no shit.
I know they all over my family side, but I'm a Sagittarius, so we kind of yings and yangs, so that works.
That's a clash.
The thing about it is our generation grew up seeing what a healthy relationship looked like, which is why so many people in their 30s and their 40s now keep comparing everything to their grandmother's relationship.
Absolutely.
Because granddad had a reason to be in there. He had a way of taking care of it. But I think what we are tending to forget is we only seen things from the eyes of our children.
That's right.
So we didn't really truly see if there were any behind the scenes problems.
I appreciate you bringing that up because I was just having this discussion with somebody. And, you know, when my grandfather died, my mother's father,
right,
they found out they had 7 other siblings.
And that's the thing. But here's the thing, though. Not everybody from that generation did that as well.
Fact.
But we tend to emphasize that because I was having this conversation with my sister the other day. We were having a nice little discussion about kind of how the Black household is the only one that's truly broken. And we work extra hard to stay broken if you actually pay attention. We're quick to point out more of the negativities that are wrong with us, more so than try to find solutions to heal us. So when we were going down the path, it was like, well, what happened that our grandmother's generation where, Uncle Charles handled business at home. Right. Uncle Larry handled business at home. Uncle John handled business at home. Uncle Otto, on the other hand, was dealing with Miss Rosemary across town. But we focus on Uncle Otto and Miss Rosemary because we look at it only as children who seen Aunt Ethel and Uncle Otto together, not realizing Uncle Otto and Ethel have been broken up. But because Otto owned the home, he still came over and took care of business.
Okay.
Rosemary was actually his new girlfriend, his new life, the whole 9 yards. But men had responsibilities back then. Okay. So regardless of how they felt about each other, he still came and took care of the kids. He still came and took care of the house. He maybe came and hit that every other Wednesday. Whatever it may be, he came over and he did what he was supposed to do. He left and he went to go handle his business. But we assume everybody from that generation was out here making extra babies on the side. Not saying that they wasn't doing it. So I'm not going to denounce that.
Right.
You know, there's a situation where Uncle Charles may have had a wife over here and a girlfriend over there.
Which is it's. I don't want to say it is what it is, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, but we as Black people focus more on it. I don't want that. Not realizing in other communities, you got some cultures where there's no girlfriend over there. It's like, oh, I can afford you and afford her. Y'all can move in together. We all live together. This down. Then you got white folks who's like, on my lunch break, I go over here and deal with this girl at the hotel downtown, and I come home, and the wife knows it, but the house is paid for, the bills are covered, she gets all what she wants. We are the only culture that focuses on when something goes bad. And I'm not saying it's right.
Okay.
Because you got to remember, them same women who know that the husband is fucking in the hotel downtown on lunch break also got the guy across the street who just got done cutting the grass coming to cut something else.
So,
but they still take care of everything at home like nothing wrong.
But this is my take on it, okay?
Okay.
Now, I don't want y'all to quote me on these time frames because I might be off. But I was literally watching something the other day that was called The Demise of the Black Family. Now, this was from 1981, I believe. And what it was basically, okay, the government was willing to give us welfare checks.
I'll get there too, because that was the next level of our conversation.
To be a single mom, no Black man in the home. So, oh, girl, if he left, that's good. Let him stay gone. You're going to get food stamps. You're going to get a welfare check every month. This is the demise of the Black family, right?
Okay.
So you thinking this started maybe, I watched this from 1981, but I'm thinking this was maybe 10 years prior to when it really 70s. Started establishing the welfare.
Yeah, when the welfare
was created to destroy the Black family.
When the government seen what the Black Panther were doing with their food services and whatnot, where they were helping each other out, the government intervened. Because what people tend to forget is media focuses on the Black aspects of welfare. They tend to, if you pay attention, whenever statistics are always presented, it's always presented in percentages.
Correct. Yeah.
Because when you do it based on percentages, it's easier to make a situation look more volatile or bad or negative.
Absolutely.
Based on the percentage. Because if there's only 5 million Black people in the United States, and if you say 3 million of them are on welfare, then that percentage is about 80%. Okay. But if you say that there are 45 million white people and 15 million are on welfare, well, that percentage number looks like it's only 33.
Exactly.
So now it looks like 80% of Black people are on welfare, 33% of but it's not necessarily the case of how many people really are. Because
statistically, Caucasians are more on welfare than African Americans.
Statistically, they are because there's more of them. It's just that, like you said, the government welfare created the possibility to break up the Black homes. And that's number two.
So, but let me finish my thought.
Go ahead.
I was trying to get where you were going. I felt you. So basically, right? We being raised now. Say we all our age. What we come in the 80s, right? We come in the 80s, early 80s, and still Black home family. I was raised with my two parents until the age I was 11. I think my parents divorced. Right. So you still seeing Black families in the neighborhood. You still seeing Mr. and Mrs. You still seeing that. But then maybe hitting 1989, we in the 90s now. You hear these phrases, I don't need no man. Oh, I'm Miss Independent. I make my own money. I don't need you. What I need you for? I need you. I don't wait.
I want you, but I don't need you.
But I don't need you. So now, us, these 90s babies, I ain't gonna say us, the 90s babies hearing their mama, oh, I don't need no man. So what we gonna think when we get older? I don't need no man. I'm independent. I make my own money.
But that's also, if you pay attention, the mentality of the welfare woman actually controlled that narrative as well. Because think about it. If your dad is on bullshit, mom kicks him out.
Right.
Okay. Dad can always go back and stay with his brother.
Right.
Okay. Go back and stay with his folks.
Or get another woman to move
Or get another woman.
Absolutely.
Whatever the case may be, he doesn't have to be there until that child support situation comes through.
Right.
So child support is created, and based on the state you live in, child support may just immediately make you be like, okay, you're taking $1,200 out my paycheck every month. Why should I be there and deal with you still being angry about this relationship? You're getting $1,200. You're getting $1,200 from me. But she may be like, somebody's lying, not realizing the government takes their cut, of course.
Right.
So it's impossible for him to live. So he doesn't work a regular job. I can't afford to keep working here and pay for these types of bills because they're taking so much out of me that I'm just going to go ahead and hustle. The drug game, you got to remember, we're talking about the 80s now,
right?
Early 90s. Drug game is more lucrative, more cheaper, and it keeps the people out of my business. So you go deal with the drug game because you can drop off more money. You're thinking you're being a good dad. Meanwhile, the government said, oh, yeah, well, since it's just you and you taking care of these 2 kids by yourself, we got something for you. If you go ahead and you live over here in this subsidized housing, we'll only charge you about $250 a month for rent. But of course, you can't have nobody else in here because of your income. This is the trick. This is the trick.
Yes, sir.
If your income goes above a certain number, then you can't stay here or will increase your rent. So a lot of times people were kicking folks out or not going into relationships because they did not want that income to be affected, or they won't marry them. Number one, they might stay with them, and then that once a month visit, he may have to, go stay by his brother's house for a couple of days, and then he'll come right back. But most of the time, they wasn't committing to the relationship because you're not going to affect the income in the house.
Right.
So I can't live here in this $250 house and buy all these things that I've been wanting to get because you're going to affect my income. I can't go get a good job. I can't go be a nurse. I can only get these jobs that will make me make so much, but still keep me under the income.
And that's how it is. They have to keep us stuck.
Okay.
They have to keep us stuck.
Then let's go back. So if my rent is only $250, and that's being realistic, rent's only $250, I get $800 a month from you when you are working a real job. So your check, and the reason why I'm on your ass about your check is because your $800 you send me every month, if you even get that much, that's the trick, that you send me every month, that's really paying all my bills. I don't have to work a regular job. I can stay here and I can hustle, or I can sell hair, or I can do this, I can do that to put quick money in my pocket. And your kid will have whatever I feel like they're supposed to have. So the minute you go and you want joint custody of your kid, or you want to split responsibilities, or every other week the kid flip-flops back and forth, you don't want that because now that affects your funds. Then you also have it where the minute you turn 18, you got to get out my house because now you're categorized as an adult.
And see, that's where we mess up too. And I'm not even gonna say all black people, but most black people, that's where we mess up too. You telling your child at 18, listen, I don't know what you got to do, but you got to get a job and you got to get up out of here. My question, have you been conditioning your child to be an adult, to transition over into adulthood? Do they got a savings account? Have you saved up money? Because the Caucasian people gonna make sure their kids laid out.
This is true, but here's one thing I have to kind of say.
So do you agree or do you disagree with that, putting the child out at 18?
No, because first of all, I have 2 girls.
Right.
So the last thing I want to do is force 2 women in a very hypersexual world to force to do things on their own at an age where most women her age are being taken advantage. No disrespect to you and your husband. How much of a different age are your husband and you are?
I was 6 months older, and that's X. I'm single.
Okay.
Don't.
So
X.
In your particular case, you were only 6 months, so y'all was close in age.
Yeah, we were close in age.
But
same year.
Let's be honest. The R. Kelly situation is actually very normal in the black community, where an older man will purposefully be preying on younger women because of their naiveness. They will purposely, they may be not as old as he was, but you got to remember, he's been doing this for years too. So you'll be looking at 23, 24, 25 years old.
Don't you think the parents was getting some advantages?
His situation completely different because that's a man with money.
Yeah.
But under normal circumstances, let's keep it realistic.
Yeah.
You got 20-year-old college kids. You got 25-year-old college grads still going back to these high schools, flirting with seniors.
Right.
So that 6 to 7 year age gap could be the biggest difference between my daughter being the first woman president or being a woman at home with somebody being married to for 20
and
years.
pregnant. Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying?
And I tell my girls, like, listen, because and I'm telling you, you become what you listen. You've heard the words, you evolve. It don't matter if you in this situation. That's all you see, right? So you gonna do what you gonna do. You gonna migrate to what's going on,
right?
It's all a mental state. You don't have to become what your circumstances are, but look, most of us do. I got married young. I had kids. I got a college degree, but I'm just now graduating to get my second degree. I'm on the back end trying to catch up with everybody else because I chose to get married. It's so much more life.
And it's not even that. Take in consideration, we live in a hypersexual world.
It's so sexual.
All it takes is one time with somebody who knows what they're doing, and you have now mentally changed the viewpoint of the level of importance of sex to you.
Absolutely.
Think about it. When we were younger and we had sex for the first time, usually it was somebody who didn't know what the hell they were doing. Usually was a kind of awkward, yet bad.
I feel like
kind of bad. Sometimes it was bad.
My first time was special. Like we planned it out, and
that's because y'all. This is also the same guy you married, right?
No.
Okay. I'm sorry. My bad, bro. I thought it was you.
No, it wasn't. He probably thought he was my first. Oops. Carry on.
But. See, that's just wrong.
I'm joking.
But at the same time, you look at sex differently. But if you've had it with somebody and they knew what they were doing, your mind state is now only yearning for that same experience again. That feeling that you got, you want it again. You get addicted to what the dick did.
But I think after a certain age, here's 40. I don't got time for that.
You don't, because you know exactly what you want. You know the good and the bad. But when you're 18, 19, 20, what else do you know to do?
You don't know no better.
You done got somebody done touched you on the inside and they done made you feel a certain way. And all of a sudden it's like, I want that again. I want you to do what you did there again. Then take in consideration, if it's an older gentleman, they're probably a little bit more mature. They're more reserved. They're more relaxed. Why? They're trying to hide the fact that they're even messing with you. They're taking you to places that the kids that you grew up with can't even get into, so you don't even think about it like that. They're bringing you around. They have their own place. They have their own car. So that alone makes you be like, ooh, I want to be with this person because he's stable compared to Craig that's in my English class who all he do is rib all day. I don't want to deal with dudes like that. Now your mentality is different.
Yeah, absolutely.
You look at the wrong thing that you think is a good thing because you don't know what's wrong or right at that age. So why would I want to put my 18-year-old daughters out there in that situation? No, stay your ass here. Matter of fact,
I wish more parents felt like you.
Matter of fact, bring your boyfriend here. Y'all kick it here.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. So with my oldest daughter, I kind of did demand that she moved out. But that was different. That was different circumstances. She felt she was grown.
But that's what y'all go through as moms. So I'm not taking that from y'all. When y'all women hit that age where y'all start leaking in your pants, y'all minds feel like y'all grown.
In other words, and this is the words my mom and aunt, you smelling yourself.
Basically.
And it's the difference between who gonna be the queen bee. Cause see, it's only gonna be one grown woman up in here. You living under my roof. If you want to be a grown woman, then baby, you got to get your own place. But if you stand here, guess what? There's rules. There's a curfew. You still got chores. I'm making you. And then I told her, I was like, you give me $50 every month. That I'll get everybody hygiene products. $50 out of your paycheck a month. That means I'm making sure you still got lights, water, food, heat, shelter. Whatever you need, I'm just saying, give me $50, and that way, when you do move out, you'll have some responsibility. You know. Well, I gotta say this because I gotta pay this $50. I even gave her a due date. Oh, that was too much. Oh no, I can go somewhere. Baby, go ahead.
But if she wanted to come home, did you ever give her to say that she could have?
Came home.
Okay.
She came home. She's gone again. She lives in Arizona, but
how old is she?
She'll be 21.
Okay.
You know, my baby will be 21, and you know, life experience is your best teacher. I tell people all the time, she's so responsible now. I thought I would never see the day that she would be so responsible. But she get up and go to work because guess what? You got bills. And I'm way in Wisconsin. So what you gonna do?
Pimp hoes and slam Cadillac dogs.
I mean, do something. Pop it for pimp. And
people hate that don't do that.
Something. You gonna have to do something. So you know what? I tell people all the time too, and I moved out at 18 because look at the situation though. I moved out at 18. You know, my then husband or almost husband, he had an apartment set up for us. You know, so but I still worked a job, is what I'm saying. It's like the response. I don't want to say these kids are. I feel like they are. They just feel like I don't know what to say. I'm not gonna call them sheltered, but they feel like we supposed to do everything for them. I can't find the word. What is it called?
Entitled.
They're all entitled.
We got to think about it. It goes back to our parents, believe it or not.
It does.
When money was free flowing, okay, regardless of how you got it.
Right.
Job opportunities were there where we could work in career fields where we couldn't work at before. And people were now getting degrees and going to college and thriving. Okay. Entrepreneurship was there, but it wasn't at the rate it is now.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a whole new world. And I won't even lie to you like that. But we were buying kids stuff. Our parents were buying stuff that we couldn't buy.
So we want to spoil our kids.
So that's what we're doing now. So think
about. I want you to have better. I want you to go through what I did.
Prime example. Jordans have always been around as long as we've been around, right?
Yeah.
Okay. First edition runs. A lot of us couldn't get them shoes.
Hell no.
It's either even though the shoes only costed maybe $100, maybe $80 at that time, you wasn't getting no $100 shoes.
Hell no.
Jordans, that means that you really was that stuff. But second story behind it was you also was getting shot and killed over them. Shot and killed over your Jordans, over your starter jackets.
I mean, we'll pull up on the side of you and just,
right.
Man.
So parents, even if they could afford it, they wasn't putting their kid at that risk. So a lot of us couldn't have these things as a kid, but we didn't look at it like this. We just wanted a new pair of Jordans. That's all we cared about. That's all we cared about. Now, this day and age, we got families buying the whole family a pair of Jordans.
But it's iPads, PS5.
We're getting it. I'm getting there. So now we're coming from a generation before us. So either some of us or the ones that are just above us buying your kids love. I'm going to give you things I couldn't have.
Right.
I'm going to buy things for you. They're closing all the programs for kids to do anyway. Kids can't go nowhere, so you home all day. Well, fine. Since you home, you can have this PlayStation. You can have this console. You can have these tablets. Tablets are used for school, so that's their excuse in some of their heads. Oh, you can do this for school, so here, you get this as well, too. Or you get the educational game. Think about it. We were also the kids where we'll go over by grandma's house, and what will they do? Throw us in front of TV all day.
Yeah.
So you sit down and you watch TV all day. Literally, that's what tablets and video games are. Yeah. It's the equivalence of TV raising you now.
Facts.
The only difference is you can have variety now. You don't have to watch In the Heat of the Night or Law and Order or
the Andy Griffin Show.
Yeah, that was the thing I couldn't think of. The Andy Griffin
Night
Show.
Court. I remember all those shows.
I still watch Night Court. That's my shit.
Yeah.
That was my shit.
Yeah, and this one more MASH.
Oh, MASH when you knew it was time to go to bed.
MASH was nap time.
Yeah, MASH is when you knew it was time to go to bed.
Y'all hear that music?
Saturday night, you out there watching Saturday night's main event on wrestling, and MASH come on right to go to bed.
I got one for you since you brought that up, but this brings me back to the grandparents of today. When I tell you my mom,
you talking about the folks that are our age and our grandparents,
or just grandparents in general?
Oh, okay,
not the ones I know. And I was telling my kids, like, don't make me no Mima. Because I am not.
What the fuck is a Mima?
Don't make me no granny right now. I am living life. But these grandmas, man, when I tell you my mama would drop us off Friday and not pick us up to Sunday night, and my grandma never called her for nothing.
Nothing.
Not nothing. Nothing. I'm just like, dang, where them grandparents? Because my mama tell you, I don't watch kids. And my mom's an older grandma. She's in her late 60s. She don't watch nobody.
Your grandma ain't watching nobody?
No.
Not a nanny or a kid?
No. And I feel like that's where some of the structure is lost too. Everybody, man, I miss my granny. We need the big mamas back. Because no matter what these parents say from the past, guess what? We the way we are because of our grandmas as well.
True.
And they had a backbone with grandma. And
that's another thing that's an issue now too. Everybody's trying to live their second life.
Facts.
Okay.
I'm on that.
And that's cool though. You're living your second life fresh out of a marriage.
Fresh out. Well, okay. It ain't too fresh, but yeah.
You know what I'm saying is it's been the last 5 years.
Yes, absolutely.
So fresh out of a marriage. You're just now getting your swagger back.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're out here
yes.
trying to find who you really
trying
want
to find who I am.
And because people are living their second lives, there's certain things they just want to do. You may have raised your kids by yourself, and or maybe your oldest, if they had a kid, they don't want to keep doing this for everybody.
Right.
So they're now saying, here's 40-year-old grandma, even though you told them don't make you one, technically by definition, your oldest is 21 years old.
Right.
She can make you one.
It's bound to happen.
She can make you one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wouldn't be in her best interest, because that's what I'm gonna say. Oh, no, little girl, don't call me grandma. Sorry. I'm not being known as grandma until I'm in my 50s.
First of all, that little small,
how you doing?
That cute small little face that you gonna hold, because you're gonna be at your daughter's bedside.
I just had a small little face.
That was your fault. No one.
What I'm saying is, I don't have a fever. I'm not gonna be like, oh,
it's different.
I got it.
It's different.
I've had it.
No. It's gonna be different. You wanna know why it's different?
Why?
It's cute. It's adorable.
And I can give it back.
This is yours.
Yeah.
You can. And then you're going to be there to help her not make the mistakes you make, because you're that kind of a mother.
You know, I hope that instinct kicks in when it happens, because I'm not feeling that right now.
Because you're not a grandma right now.
Yeah.
Just like when you became a mom and you thought that you wasn't going to be a good mom. Oh, my God, I'm not ready to be a mom. Right. But now, of course, you hadn't had these kids and they all perfectly fine.
And it's instinct, instinct plays in. So, yeah, I hope my granny senses do chime in. But I can see why in this day and age, it's so many women I know my age that are grandmas. And I'm just like, are we mentally ready for that? Because we didn't make our parents, or did we? Maybe we did. Let me see. My mom probably would have been.
Did you make your grandmother? Mom. Until about 8 years ago. So I purposefully waited until my 30s to have kids, because I knew for a fact, one, I was not going to be my dad. And that's going to be the next thing we're going to cover in a minute. I didn't want to be my dad. Okay. I did not want to be that guy who I'm here, but I'm not here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I wanted to actually be a full blown dad. So in order for me to do that, I had to get my shit out of my system. So I had to get my whole ways out my system.
But don't you think that's how it's supposed to work?
It's supposed
I really feel like people sign up for stuff they're not ready for. Don't dick me down. Don't give me all this and that, and then I end up getting pregnant, and this is something you ain't ready for.
Oh my.
I think that's why we have to establish boundaries with people. Can we go back to that, establishing boundaries with people and people being okay? Now can I vent for a second?
Go ahead. Pull your mic up.
Because
if you're gonna vent.
Let me vent for a second.
Shit off.
So let me just say, okay, there's a guy that he's literally been trying to get at me from 2016 to the present, right?
That's a hardworking brother.
He's a good dude, though. I mean, he's a good dude. And I feel like he deserves the full me, you know what I'm saying? The healed me, the whatever me, not even saying he want a relationship with me. But I felt like in this day and age, you have to establish the boundaries with people. He is a good dude. And I feel like he would marry somebody and take care of his fucking wife. You feel me?
Okay.
But I know that I'm not mentally, and I feel like physically, if I'm going to get married again, my body's going to be snatched. Okay? Not saying I don't look good now.
But what if he likes it like this?
He do like my body now.
So why would you change it on him?
I have goals for myself. This is what I'm saying. You can't compromise what you want for other people.
Okay.
I'm just over that in life, because I did that for years and years and years of my life. And like I tell him, like, dude, I'm just in a season of, I'm chilling. Like, we can kick it.
Right.
But I'm not in the season of being dated. I'm not in that season of life.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because people change like the wind. Am I in the whole stage? No. Because for one, I'm damn near 40. Okay. That season has passed. I chose not to partake. To each his own. If you turn 40 and you want to be a hoe, that's on you. But as for me, that season has passed for me. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I tell him, like, we can be friends. We can have a friendship. If I was to have like a fuck buddy situation, I would probably do it with him. But at the same time, why should he have to compromise what he wants? Because of this season in life, I'm telling people I don't want no entanglements or seriousness in my life, or I don't want to be dated.
Okay.
I don't want to put him on hold, because once again, he's a good fucking dude. And I keep looking at him like, dude, why do you keep pursuing me? Like, what is it about me? He's like, I like you. Like,
you got, at the end of the day, you have a dope ass vibe.
Thank you. And likewise.
People, you have a dope ass vibe where I can see why a guy who, even if he ain't on his shit,
yeah,
or even if you publicly shown, oh, she toxic as fuck,
yeah,
but she's still dope enough that I can tolerate 2/3 of that shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna really say I'm a toxic person because I'm not, but I know I have issues from my past.
Right.
The last thing I want to do is make somebody that don't deserve it pay for my issues. From my
And I
past.
respect you. I definitely respect you.
Yes.
And that's I think a lot of people need to do that, period, because
Mhm.
that's at the end of the day, that's the bulk of the issue with everybody. People have previous trauma, whether it's childhood trauma from missing parents or the inability of a parent to tell you.
Traumas.
Yeah, everybody has trauma. So whether it's the person that you want to love you didn't love you the way you wanted to be loved because no one knew what love languages was.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Or the relationship you gave your all to, they took advantage of it. So you don't want to give yourself to anybody anymore.
Right.
Or just the simple fact that you're not the person you used to be and you trying to find out who the hell you are now.
And that's what it is. Like, people don't get it. Like, dude,
But
I got married young. I started having kids. So guess what? I became wife and mom. Me, I was always on the back burner. I could be having a selfish moment. Because you know what I be telling my ex-husband? Come get everybody. It's your turn. You know what I'm saying? Like,
not
and
everybody.
He got a whole baby on the way too. So, you know, he's getting married again. He got a baby. Everybody moving on with their life. And I just want to pause mine and take a moment for self. If I don't have self-love, how I'm gonna love somebody? And like I keep going back to dude, because he's super duper dope. When I tell you he's just dope, he's such a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? He checks on me, this, that, and the other. If I would ever pursue him, I would want to make sure my shit is right. Because that's what I feel like he deserves. And I don't want you to take me halfway just to have me. Do that make sense?
Well,
and then I don't want to put nobody on hold either, because that's just not right. I would be pissed.
How long do you think, in your own opinion, that it would take for you to reach a point where you feel like, you know what, I can be dated now?
Probably 41.
So about 2 years.
Yeah.
So do you think that this guy is into you enough to wait 2 more years? Well, 1.5.
See, I don't know if it's sexual or I don't know. I've never really gotten into it because I'm just like, you know, it is what it is. He pursuing me. I don't know. But you know how men or women can get, you know, you finally give in, you have sex with a person, boom, the interest is gone.
And that's what I was going to say. But what if the interest changes?
So right. And I don't want to say he has cruel intentions, because if you going hard for somebody for 6 years, you better not.
No, I'm talking about for you. Like right now, you feel like I need to be healed. And all of a sudden you lay down with him, and next thing you know, he done snatched your soul in a way that you didn't even know that part of your soul can get touched.
And that's the thing. I don't even want to put myself in that predicament, because you can be so blinded by sex. Who ain't blinded by dick and pussy? Can I say that on the show? I'm sorry. But who's blind? I mean,
why
that's
wouldn't you be able to?
Because this is the thing with people. We need to realize we're blinded by lust 90% of the time.
Yes, it is.
10% of the time, you be looking like, I'm not even that interested in you. We just fucking and I like it. Yes. This is life for us, and it's so sad in this society, because it's just like we all live in our life based off lust. Nobody trusts nobody. You know, you can't be dated because he got A, B, and C. What else is there besides sex? That's why I told myself I got to take that off the table, because I feel like if you have pure intentions for me, you gonna do whatever, and likewise, you know, I don't want you going out your way for me, and I'm not. But I've never been that person. Whatever you giving me, I'm giving it to you, if not 10 times back. You feel me? But I don't want sex to blind stuff. Like sex complicates things, man. I'm sorry. I don't know if y'all agree with that or not, but sex is the main thing. If we took lust off the table, a lot of us wouldn't have nothing in common.
This is true, which is why you have so many baby mama.
And see, that's fucked up, because then you putting a child in the middle.
Right.
Now there's a child.
Because if you think about it, majority of people this day and age who have kids with somebody never had intentions of being with them past that one night.
Absolutely. They
never had intentions of being with that person after they got done fucking for a while.
So why y'all ain't using condoms?
Here. And I'm glad you brought that up. So last night I was recording one of our shows, Topics of the Trenches, and they're
trying to catch that. That's Friday.
Yeah, Fridays at 8:30. Now they're a younger generation compared to us, so they're in that mid-early 20s. Okay,
oh shit.
You got, which is why I like them, because you get a more grounded, realistic view of what that generation looks like.
Yeah,
and one of them's married. You'll say it with no problem. The other one recently just got out of a relationship, so he's still He's in your position,
Yeah.
what it is right now. And then one, he just found out he's a dad, so he's working on that. And when it's all said and done, they all said in so many words, like, this generation has to do better. Like, the whole conversation last night was, even though I didn't agree with some of the things they were saying, but I seen their viewpoint.
But for them to be
I have,
to say that,
yeah, I want to have sex with you. Okay. You say you got a condom. I say sure. First couple of times we do it. Next time, third time we get together, it's like, hey, I don't want to put a condom on. At that moment in time, you can say yes or no. Right. If you say no, we'll say, no, that's okay, cool. Or just put the tip in. Or let's say we fell asleep.
That's it.
Let's think about it.
Such a setup.
We just got done fucking. We just took a nap.
Right.
2:00 in the morning, we touching and feeling. We fucking again now. Ain't nobody thinking about grabbing a condom in that moment.
Right.
So, even though, we men, we need to be more responsible for what we do in the bedroom.
Women too.
At the same time, if you don't tell me, hey, grab a condom, or if you ain't got condoms to say, hey, put this on before you go anywhere, we just had raw sex.
Right.
We had raw sex. At that moment,
raw sex.
Exactly, right there.
It is what it is.
And
that's where you play.
But now that you've done it, who wants to put a condom back on?
But then that's when you become responsible. Then there's a conversation that needs to be had. Are you on birth control?
There's a conversation that should have been had before we even got here.
Facts.
And that's the conversation a lot of people are not having. What's your stance on kids? What's your stance on abortion?
Right.
What's your stance on single parenthood? I know that's a weird ass thing to throw out there, but it's like, what's your stance on single parenthood? What's your stance on? Let's say we have a kid. Do we have to be together to be these kids, or let's say we try to be together, it don't work out? Can we raise these kids right? Can we co-parent like a boss? These are thought process now, and the reason why a lot of people don't want to have that conversation is because you could just talk yourself out of pussy. Because that person might stop and be like, you know what? I don't want to be a parent with you. Never mind. You can't get these draws. So now we're not having that conversation at all until it's too late. Now there's a baby on the way. Now we're trying to have this conversation. Now, and of course, it's your body, is your rule. But at the same time, do you really want to be a mother?
But that's the thing. And I put that on women. If I'm giving you, if you my man, right, or we fucking around and you my fuck buddy, let's just say that.
I'm working on that, but that's a different story.
And you listen, and you giving me the vibe, right?
Right.
That this is just sex.
Right.
This is a platonic thing. Why, in my right rigid mind, would I get pregnant for one, but for two, tell you I'm pregnant, I'm keeping the baby? What you setting not even you, cut you out the picture. What you setting that child up for?
Because somewhere during this sex session.
Shit.
Okay, you listening?
Yeah.
In the back of your head, you have created a relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what most people do. I'm sorry to say that. Women do it more than men, but you've already put the relationship in the back of your head. He touched that one spot that the last dude that you with either A, touched that made you fall in love, or he went to parts of Pussy Town that don't nobody go to too often. So now you need this part of Pussy Town visited more often because somebody got to cut the grass over here or whatnot. So now you don't want him to go anywhere.
But let me tell you my story. So I was in a situation, right? When I met my youngest son's dad.
Okay. I remember him.
Yeah. I was aware that he didn't have children. I was aware that he wanted children. And, when we got to the point, we were messing around for a long time, and we got to the point of no condoms.
Okay.
Right? I said to him, like, listen, I'm fertile.
You are fertile as fuck.
And I told him, I said, we crossing this line. We need to have a talk. And I swear to God, it was all off the window. I'm one of these people. You're gonna tell me what it is. Okay. If you can't give me a definition, I'm gonna make up my own definition.
And what most people do.
You know what I'm saying? So when he said that, he was like, well, I mean, shit, we finna be together because I could see myself having a family with you.
You already got a family.
But he don't have kids.
I get his POV. But the thing about it is
and he counted them as his children too.
Only because he wanted another one. No. He wanted his own.
Well, no, he still counts them as his kids.
Does he treat them all equally?
Absolutely.
Okay.
He's dope as fuck. And you know what? I wouldn't mess with nobody that didn't. Because that's just me. And I tell people all the time they don't need a dad. They have a dad. We are not together. I am not a single mom. I'm single, but I'm not a single. They have a dad. They have a whole dad. They all look alike. Yep, that's him right there. Okay, they don't need that substance.
But
I don't need a dad for them.
But
if they're around, oh baby, we family.
But here's the thing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
There is this unintentional thing that happens.
Okay.
When there is a step half situation.
Okay.
Okay.
Is this the way you think?
No, this is what I've been proven.
Okay.
I've been proven.
Okay.
Me and you start dating, right?
Okay.
I already know you got an infinite number of kids over here.
Well, technically, let me just throw a disclaimer. I really don't know more.
You don't?
It's literally only 4 kids in my house.
Right. Okay. The adult ones are if you're over 17, you don't count.
Grown and gone.
Okay. Because either you're not gonna be around anyway, or you grown and go. Okay. So you got 4. So let's just start there. You got 4. Mm-hmm. Out them 4, there's 2 other dads.
Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So 1 got 1 dad, 3 got another dad. Okay.
Don't say it like that though.
No.
It's like 7, then it's 1.
It is, but it isn't. Okay.
Yeah,
here's the step half.
Carry on, sir.
Here's the step half situation. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm dating you. I have 2.
Okay.
You have 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's 6.
Right.
We gonna fuck because
mm-hmm.
we fuck.
Okay.
So there may be a combo right there. There may be a link eventually that's born out of that one. Right? Nothing wrong with that. Mm-mm. But by default, my girls are my first priority. Because those are my girls, just like your 4 are your priorities. Mm-hmm. I'm still, if I say, hey, we're going to the zoo, everybody's going to the zoo.
Right.
But I'm going to put a little bit more extra effort in making sure of my babies. No disrespect to yours.
There's nothing wrong with that to me.
But then there's that one that we just had that's together.
Okay.
That one is going to get love and attention equal to what my girls get.
Right.
Because these came directly from me. Mm-hmm. Not saying that the other 4 will be left out.
Right.
There's a little bit more effort in mine.
Okay.
Just like sense. I would expect the same for you.
Yeah.
Okay. As people grow and they have other people they can answer, because you got me at the end of the day, just this one me and you have together is the only one that we really have to have a constant conversation on the same page when it comes to.
Right.
Your other 4, I don't have to be part of that conversation at all.
That's between me and my ex-husband.
Unless they disrespect me or my other 2.
I feel like you just have to set the tone. You know, it's a complicated situation, but this is what I tell everybody. We all have to respect each other. We are blended. We love each other.
They're blended.
But what I'm not going to do now, this is where the only part I have, because I respect everything you say and I agree 100%. Okay. So let me just break this down. So it is consistently broke down. Okay.
As long as you sweep up the mess.
So it ain't going to be no mess, because I feel what you're saying, right?
Right.
As long as my kid is not feeling like they're being left out or mistreated, it is what it is. Because guess what? You have to sit down with your kids. And I tell my children all the time, because on their father's side, you know, his fiance has a daughter.
Right.
And they about to have a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I said, listen, you have 2 parents that love you. Okay. You don't ever have to question the fact that you're loved. You don't have to look at nobody else sideways. You have both of your parents.
Right.
Okay. There's something that we call respect. You don't have to like this person, but you're going to respect them.
So.
And your brother is your brother. Ain't no half brother. Ain't no step brother. That's your brother.
Okay.
That's your brother.
But now, we all of us, your 4 plus the one we just made and my 2, between us, we have that understanding.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But you got 2 dads over here who may look at what I do as not what they would do. Therefore, they have a problem. So because they have a problem, they instill certain behaviors in these 4.
Okay.
They bring that behavior to the side of the table, and their answer is, "You're not my dad."
I don't agree with that. I teach my kids that's not what we do. I feel like the parent, as me, you talk to your children and you establish the respect, how we gonna treat her. They might not like me. I'm not their mom, you know, because it's always.
Sadly, my girls love everybody.
Well, that's cool, but all kids aren't like that. That's where mom has to come in, and we're gonna sit down with ex-husband and we're gonna establish respect. When I tell you me and him don't have that problem, we don't have that problem because we sat them down. united, because at the end of the day, they're still our kids. Listen,
right.
we know y'all hate the fact that we're not together anymore. That boat is sailed. Let's move forward. Okay. You still have two parents that love you, but as long as she with him and I'm with her, it's going to be this thing called respect. Okay. You ain't got to call him stepmom or stepdad. You're going to be respectful. And you leave it like that. You have to set the tone. I don't leave nothing up to kids. I just don't. Because if you do, then you set yourself up for failure. You have to set the tone of how stuff going to play out. And that's what that is. If he tell you to do something, you're going to do it. Unless it's something outrageous. If he tell you to do something, he going to do it. Because
Right.
guess what? When he go to a restaurant and he go pick up food for his kid, guess what? He bringing everybody else food. Because that's what I established. You have to establish the respect. You know, you going to respect my kids because they going to respect you.
Okay.
If they get out of pocket, yes, you have the right to chastise them, not whoop, but chastise them.
I don't whoop anyway.
Yeah, me either. We don't either.
We
But
live
I'm
in this
just
world
saying
where
discipline-
taking stuff from kids it hurts
That's
them
death.
so more.
That's
Like it
death.
hurts. Like if I tell my kids
Yeah.
you can't be on your tablet, oh my God, they
That's
feel
that.
like.
But I had to set that tone, because if you give kids an inkling that they can be disrespectful or you ain't my daddy, they
Oh, they
gonna
gonna
run
take.
with it.
They gonna take it.
So I established that it's never been a problem, and this is my first relationship after being married. It's never been a problem. They give him hugs, you know. They was writing him birthday cards on his birthday. Everything was cool.
No, you're talking about the dude who want to be with you, but you don't want to be with him yet.
No, I'm talking about my son's father.
Oh, okay.
Like we were a family, and it was nothing.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, he would, like, if I was studying or something, he'd be like, all right, I'm gonna take everybody to Pizza Shuttle so you can get out. I mean, and I never, ever expected
oh,
that.
You got money.
Yeah, he does. Hey,
Like,
I'm joking.
You got money.
But that was another thing I was gonna ask. Would you marry now for love, or would it be for money? Because now I'm more on the financial end of it. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm glad you bring that up.
Yes,
Black folks also is the only people who don't marry for finance.
No, we marry for love.
We
Hardcore,
we definitely marry for love 1st, and then try to figure out finances later. Now, some of that could be from the fact that our parents never knew how finances was, because finances in the Black household was different. You don't owe nobody nothing. You pay for everything right away, and if you can't afford it, you don't have it.
Right.
No one never knew how credit works and how you can use your home to take care of stuff and things like that.
Were we ever taught that?
We were never taught, because you got to remember, prior to our people tend to forget, and I want this world to definitely think about it. Prior to Big Mama, they're one generation away from slavery.
All right.
And I think people tend to forget that. Slavery wasn't that much further past our grandparents' parents. Our grandparents were probably still slaves in most cases.
And I couldn't have been no slave. They would have noosed me.
Well, we say that now because we're not in that era, but it may have been a different story when you hit this world.
Man.
But plus you got more freedoms now as a woman that you ever had back then. Let's remember that too.
For sure.
Let's not. But because we were never taught that, we only had that silent rule of never owe nobody nothing. If you sign your name on something, you're giving people the right to have control and take it from you. So don't own nothing. If you can buy a house, flat out buy a house, which is why Black folks love to rent so much more now than they would want to own, because people can come and take from you. And that's what they think, you know. If I'll rather pay $1,000 for rent and I can leave whenever I want to, instead of paying $1,200 for my home.
But you can't, because either way you go, you're in a contract.
You're still in the contract for a year.
Yeah.
You can wait till that year. You can try to do them. Either way it goes, people control your narrative. When you own a home, you control your own narrative.
Right.
But that's a whole nother thing. If people would have known how finances work, we definitely would have cared more.
Yeah.
Because there are people now, as we're starting to find out for finances, who love a woman dearly, want to be with her, want to go ahead and have a family with her, but will not say I do to you until you get your credit score up.
You know,
because when you get married, y'all credit scores combine.
Together. I get that.
So then there's people who, well, you know, we can work through this. Plus, you got to remember, going back to our 80s story, there were men who didn't have jobs. They were hustling. You don't have a job. You're doing these odd jobs, or you're doing these repairs, or you're making money here and there. That don't matter, baby, because we only pay $200 for rent. Whatever you bring in is good for the family because you don't need that much money based on our situation. So finances was never important because the government took care of us.
Facts.
When you think about it. So why should we care about money? We care about love. Then when we started seeing, oh, Uncle Otto was out here cheating on Ethel.
Not Otto.
I had to come up with an old ass name.
Yeah.
Who was cheating on Ethel. Well, no, I don't want to get married because everybody I know that's married is getting a divorce. Well, people are getting divorced for different reasons.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has to do with communication.
Right.
A lot of it has to do with, especially with the older generation, society started shifting.
Right.
When you had women who had a specific role and men had a specific role, people stayed in those lanes and relationships lasted. The minute when women can now do the same thing that men could do, a lot of women didn't need to be here anymore.
Exactly.
I don't have to stay here with him and deal with his bullshit. I can go do it myself now. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, you're seeing a lot more divorces, but it wasn't always because somebody was just bad. Sometimes it's like, we don't work. I'm out.
Right.
Plain and simple.
Right.
So you see all these divorces and you see all these people ending. It's like, I'm never going to get married because I want to make sure the person I'm with for the rest of my life. Well, what's your finances looking like?
Right.
If he loses his
compromise,
if he loses his job today, can you hold down the fort?
Are you willing to hold down the fort?
And a lot of people don't. A lot of people are there because the situation is comfortable. Yeah. People are in relationships because it works. People are selfish. I own a business and I work a job. I can bring home enough money that my girls are good and I can establish a whole entire relationship.
Right.
Okay. You see that. Oh, he's stable. He got money. I'm going to go ahead and be with him and move in with him and start a relationship with him. And I'm going to put all my money into savings. So you have women who are working the same job I'm working, doing the same hustle I'm doing, asking for an 80-20 relationship.
It's entitlement.
Why do you want an 80-20 relationship? But when he says, no, I want a 50-50, it's a man's job to take care of a woman. Then that's the case. Then there's certain, if you want to do that gender role mentality, then you need to play gender roles.
Exactly. Get your ass up and cook and clean and watch.
And it's more than just that. There's no reason for you to have a job if you're home because the gender role is I do all the work and you stay here. You take care of these kids. You're home. You don't get to go. You can't have no side hustle. You can't go over here. I control the finances, so I give you what you can use because I'm doing it. You want 80-20?
But the women in these day and ages, they ain't even ready for that submission.
They don't.
It's pure submission, and people ain't ready for that conversation.
And it's not. People don't understand what submission is in the nature of that conversation.
No.
Because as much as even in people don't understand, even in a 50-50 relationship, there's still gender roles.
Yes,
there's still certain things you have to do that the other person. People look at 50-50 as half of your money, half of my money. No. It's more to that than just that. It's not always about, well, when I'm down, you pick me up. No, it's making sure everything. I can go to work every day. Our money can go in our joint bank account. It's your job to make sure the payments come out that account in time.
That's right. It's a balance.
It's your job to make sure that we talk to the landlord when something goes wrong because I'm not home to even know it's broken. Right. It doesn't matter which one of us do that, but whoever does that, that's your duty. That's your job.
Indeed.
You shouldn't only come to me saying, hey, the We Energy bill is due. Call and find out how much it is. What? Don't say the We Energy bill is due. Say, hey, the We Energy bill is due on the 15th. They need $227. Shit, why is it $227? You know that. And then it's a partnership here. It's like, all right, cool. I got it on the 16th.
Right.
Call them and let them know. Schedule a payment for the 16th. That's what 50-50 really is, and people don't get that.
They don't get it.
People just think money.
And that's not the way things work. It's like you can't constantly have your hand out. All relationships are a compromise, but when you get in a marriage, what do you think is going to happen?
And that's another reason why people don't want to get in marriages, because people want to be able to leave whenever they want to. You can't do that. You can't do that in marriage. You can't just leave.
No, you can't.
That's
a contract, baby. I tell people it's easy to get in, but it's a stickler to get out of.
Marriage is the only contract. No, marriage is the only license in America you don't have to renew.
Ain't that something? That is some shit.
Did you ever notice
I never even looked at it.
You never noticed that? It's the only license you don't
is.
have to renew.
It's
And
serious.
I swear to God, if you have to renew your marriage license every 5 years,
a lot of them wouldn't be renewed.
But that's the great part about it is because at that point in time, if you opt to not renew, you can part ways, and whatever you guys have together, you figure out how to split that.
Yeah, facts.
Allow people to have that moment to walk away peacefully. But now you get these situations where people have to stay together. You get these situations where people are cheating and creating whole new families.
You be in these situations when it's just cheaper to keep her.
And it's because it's cheaper to keep her.
It's cheaper to keep her.
Let's not only point out the negative, because I've been in situations and I've seen situations where just stay in there.
Well, you were married as well.
Right. Just stay in there while it was rough. And you come out on the other side of the coin and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
You have those moments. I think that's the problem is people look at when it's down
they don't want
and they want to run
out.
And nobody wants to come to the up.
Can we just do a segment on that? I really think we need to do a segment on that on longevity in relationships.
True.
Because I feel like too, for one, and I'll just say on my end, I can't speak for no man. I can't speak for another woman. If things are set up the way they're supposed to set up, I'm the most submissive woman you will know. I don't question nothing. I was gonna elaborate on what you were saying about the bills. My last relationship, he would tell me, like, listen, I want you to sit down and write down the bills, how much they are and when they're due. Okay. Once you write that down, I need you to remind me a week before they're due so I can make sure I give you the money to make the payment.
Or y'all could have created a joint bank account and just made sure money was always in there.
And that's cool. People do stuff differently.
Yeah,
that's how he wanted to play it. I ain't gonna say no because you paying my bills.
He probably wanted to remember that way he can mark things off in his finances.
So and he had his own financial obligations as well. But he used to tell me, like, I'm just gonna make sure you straight. So you just need to do this. So why am I not following suit? Because I don't want to feel like a nigga telling me what to do. It's senseless to me. Like I don't get it.
And that's because, and I hate to say this, but when women got the ability to have the same level as men, we started having more conflict issues. Things that let's be honest, it was a gender role. Y'all don't want that responsibility anymore.
But even if it's a gender role, and I know a lot of women, I'm in a different tax bracket. I don't need him. I want him around, but I don't need him. But baby, listen, no matter what I tell people all the time, nothing can substitute a man. It matters in a child's life. It matters in your life. Okay. I feel like that's why so many bitter women out here.
And that's another thing that people need to work on, both men and women. Y'all need to learn how to get over your last relationship.
Take the lust out of the situation. And
it's
look
hard
at your
to take.
Own issues.
It's hard to take the lust out when
when
the pee is free.
It is. It's hard. When I tell you, and I'm not saying this to say I'm somebody, but this penis getting thrown, and I'm gonna say peen. Peen is being thrown from left and right.
You can say whatever you want.
I could be out here in the streets like that, but I know for me, that's not what I want for myself. I do want to establish something, and I think everybody have these different definitions of a relationship. And I tell people a lot of time, like, you saying that, but is that really something you want to sign up for in real life? Are you ready to sign up for that?
Nope, they not.
Be honest with yourself.
A lot of people say that they want something different only because they're unhappy what they currently have, not realizing that the different has a completely different outcome. Prime example, our people are quickly to tell, especially y'all women, get you a man outside the race, get you a white man, get you this man, instead of saying getting a black man. And I get it. I get it. Niggas will nig. Okay. At the end of the day, niggas will nig. This is what we do. Okay. But getting yourself a white man gets you a whole new problems. Get you a Hispanic man, it's a completely different set of problems. You got culture differences. You got mentalities. You got things that they want that we are not accustomed to having. Then you have the whole the racial ambiguity there. Like, as a black woman, especially a beautiful black woman, at that, with a white man, we pissed.
Yeah, y'all pissed, but I feel that way too when I see good-looking black dudes with white women.
We pissed.
But my whole thing is men and women are the same, no matter the shade. I've actually pursued something with a white guy and a Hispanic guy, and guess what? That shit was all the fucking same.
Was he a white? No, wait. Was he a white guy? Like a actual You
trying to
think
say
like a
we
white
could-
man, or was
Yeah,
he
he
a
was
white dude
no,
who was
he was-
woke?
he
Because
was-
those are different.
He was a white guy. He was a financial analyst for Chase Bank.
No, he sound white.
Okay. He was white. But when
What's
I
his
tell
name?
you,
Connor.
no, he was close though. But when I tell you it's all the same,
It possibly
it's
is.
different. It's spun different, but baby, it's all the same.
But my
It's all
whole
the same.
but my whole thing is people feel like going to different avenues is really going to give you a better outcome. Like when people move to different cities because they feel like ain't nothing here in Milwaukee, only to find out once you do the stuff you told to do in your new city, ain't nothing to do there.
Yeah. I think it's all, you know what? And this is just, I just keep getting this vibe when we're together that we need to really get together and really elaborate on this speed dating. I think we could do some dope stuff with that. And also, I feel like we can start some healthy, I ain't gonna say relationships, but starts to relationships. Because I feel like me and you have been well experienced by being married. And baby, listen, that's like level 9 of Jumanji. I don't care what nobody say. Once you unlock that, you pretty much good at relationships.
All I'm saying
I think we'd be dope at
is
it.
that
man.
it's something that we could possibly
I
do
think we could do it.
simply because I do have a couple of shows here
Mhm.
who have recently been talking about creating a speed dating event too.
But who came up with it first?
Actually, everybody came up with it different times, but I feel like because of the minds that all of us have, the conglomeration together would actually be pretty dope.
I think we should do that. You know, we could call it TDR, Network Presents Speed Dating. I think it'd be super dope. And while these people are speed dating, we can also be, you know, conditioning people for healthy relationships.
I mean,
Because I feel like one thing, and people don't get it, and I get it so much now, communication is fucking key. If you keep it gangster with me, if you tell me what it is or what you want, and I'm cool with it, I'm gonna respect you 10 times more for keeping it real. If I gotta find out shit and you being sneaky, you causing your own problems. You're causing your
I'm
own
not disagreeing
problems.
with you. I completely
Communication is key, man.
completely understand, completely agree.
It is. I think it'd be dope for us to do. You know, I'm trying to get some exposure out here because I think I'm meant to be an entertainer.
You are.
And you know, I'm trying to just network with people. And I think speed dating or something will be dope for us to establish some type of networking. I want to network. I can't come to a pop-up shop. What I'm selling. I'm selling entertainment and personality.
You could be the host. You can host
somebody invite me.
You could host a pop-up shop.
Yeah.
You can literally throw
I need to network.
you can literally go out here.
Add me on LinkedIn. Something. I'm trying to network. I am.
I got you, fam.
I need to make myself more available. You know, I'm about to graduate, so time is going to really free up.
And that's probably once you become available.
Don't
one
make
time
that
for
an
it.
excuse. I'm ready now.
I just want you to have a fun graduation. I don't want you to have obligations before the graduation.
It's
That's all.
virtual, so I'm not even partaking. They keep blowing me with this.
Okay. All right. With that being said, we have come to the end of this impromptu episode. I'd like to thank Chrissy for coming through because it's my homie. Make sure y'all check out Chrissy's Chronicles every Sunday at noon.
Check me out, y'all.
By the time this drop, an episode would have just passed. So definitely make sure you catch that past episode. What y'all talking about?
Man, what is the topic? And I wanted to throw it at
you. Cause y'all been on break for a minute.
We have, and
but because life been lifing.
Life happens.
Life been lifing.
So definitely, the topic is
drugs and alcohol.
No,
it should be.
We talking about friend zones.
Oh,
the zone. We're talking about friend zones, and I was just thinking, I've never friend zoned anyone in my life.
The lies you tell yourself.
I didn't friend zone you.
I didn't say me, but I know you friend zoned somebody.
I have never friend zoned anybody. I can honestly say that. I just been telling people like, you know, I'm not in the mood, or you know, I don't think it's gonna work, or you know, I just been giving it to people how I want to be giving it to, real and uncut. I'm gentle with my approach though. Like I'm never set out to hurt feelings. But I don't want to string. I think you stringing somebody along is worse than being blunt.
I give you that.
But we're gonna have a guest on the show. I got Marquise coming back. He wants to. This is actually his topic, so we're gonna have him in the studio. We actually supposed to be starting our strawberry letter back up because I have tens of them,
You got
and 20.
tens of them.
You saw the last one, so hopefully they ain't. Well,
send me the letter first.
I'll say because we gotta.
Because you didn't prepare us right for that one.
When she was being so back and forth with it, I was like, "Are you gonna look? My show is in 2 hours," and then she sent it to me like the last hour. And man,
I could have got. If she don't ever come through, I have some for y'all.
Cool, but I really, you guys add me on Facebook, Crystal Berry, Berry. I would appreciate it. Like and follow my page, The Chrissy Chronicles. I appreciate him right here, my boy. He put me on. I really enjoy doing this. I love entertaining. Let's network. Let's build. Don't y'all know how much we could do as a Black community if we stick together? We could be so dope. So dope. So if y'all need anybody to host events, holler at me. I'm about to give me some business cards. The Chrissy Chronicles Entertainment. I host events, baby showers. You give me enough drinks, I'll rap. Holler at me.
All right. With that being said, make sure you check us out on all streaming platforms. That's Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever else you listen to your podcast at. Yeah. With that being said, I'll be back. Give me a couple of weeks, and I got some dope shit for you. So, peace.